Go ahead, Uniform Kilo Hotel Group Mobile Stores and give us the call sign. The name of this is Jim and the radio station is Joe. So go ahead, sir.
Right, hi everyone, it's Chris 2E0UKH. Got an exciting video today with some new features I found on this radio, and if you find it useful then please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified of new videos full of interesting stuff like this, hopefully. Many thanks. And just a quick update on some things I've discovered which are quite interesting, quite useful, things I didn't know, and you know, you guys are bound to find it interesting. So first of all, when comparing the HD one to the Anytone, I was saying you've got to have all the talk groups in the radio before you go out, and that's not the case. I don't know if it's always been not the case, but you know, I've got new firmware in here. This is on the latest is it 2.29 or 1.29? Got the latest firmware, and Malk M6 MAL, he showed me this. I don't know how I missed it. Perhaps it's a new feature. He said if you go to, what is it, if you don't have the digital contact in already, you know, he said go to menu, contacts, new contact, and you can put a new talk group in here. So we could, one I haven't got in, for example, would be Italy 222, and if you press the hash button in the bottom right, you can change it from private ID to group ID. So if I confirm that, give it a name, I've now got a talk group that I didn't have before. So that's one way of creating a talk group. But something else far more exciting is we can now put in a talk group. We can dial in, we can dynamically dial into a talk group. So, you know, that's a good example. 222 Italy. I don't have that one in. It's not in there. So I'm just going to do an unlink command. I've got them programmed in on different channels. So I've got a group call set in a channel on a 4000.
Not linked.
So I'm not linked to anything, I'm not disturbing anyone. So this is the method I was shown by Marshall on one of the Facebook groups. Full credit to him. So I'm on the channel 2351. That's a chat channel in the UK. And if I wanted to type in a talk group that I don't have in the radio, you know, there's always one you don't have in the radio. If I wanted to type one in, a bit like the ad hoc mode, you press list and then back, manual dial, and I'm going to type in 3100. I do have it in, but it makes no difference because I've tried it with talk groups I don't have in. Notice it says private ID at the top. If I press the hash button, I can change that to a group call. So that's 3100 on a group call. So if I key up, we should go on to 3100.
Dave on this end also. KE0DL, I'm here in Kansas. What did you say you were using for...
So that confirms that it works. That's David there, he's in Kansas. So that's quite exciting. you can dynamically dial a talk group. So theoretically you could have just one channel in your radio. You know, if you were using Brandmeister, for example, you could have one channel in, you know, UK calling or something, and you could dynamically dial in to a talk group. Now, as well as that, you can also do private calls. A private call is where you speak to someone and you're not on a reflector, you're not on a talk group. You know, it's not a group call, not everyone can hear you, just the one person that you've dialed. And that's exactly the same. I'm just going to make sure I'm unlinked so I'm not disturbing anyone. Wait until the green light goes out. Bound to be a long over. So I'm waiting for this light to go out, for the carrier to drop. Just going to press pause on the video. So I paused the video there. I did an unlink. You didn't see me do that because sometimes it's hard to unlink. So I'm just going to demonstrate a private call. So I've got a friend, Colin, G1IVG, and I'm just going to try and call here. I don't even know if he's got the radio on, but it's just a demo of how you do it. That's the 4000 command. I've got a missed call there. So I'm going to private call Colin. Doesn't matter whether he answers or not because it's just how to do it. Same again, list and then back, manual dial. Now this is set up for private ID, so I'll put his number in. So I've put his number in. I've never done this before, I'm just experimenting. Options, call alert, so I'm not bothered about whether it ring. That's if you want it to ring, I think, or something like that. Let's key up and see if he's there. And there's a certain procedure you do when you call someone private call. You tell them you're doing a private call, and then they can go to a channel which is set up for private call, and they don't go over a talk group or something like that. Yeah, right. G1IVG private call. G1IVG private call from 2E0 UKH. So notice I'm still on the unlinked channel. It's in a zone called best. Now I'm wondering if I key up again, if I'm still in a private call. I bet I am. Let's try again. No, I'm in the 4000.
Not linked.
If you're in a private call and you leave it too long, it can drop out. But I'll experiment with that. But just some information I've learned that makes this radio quite useful. You still can't program the radio when you're out and about from scratch, but you can edit a channel, a dummy channel that's in memory, and you can link it to another talk group, and we can now create a talk group, and we can also dynamically dial into another talk group you don't have in memory. Okay, right, 73 2E0 UKH.